we ready? Okay, we're going. And Thor in theaters now. A great movie by my estimation. This, of course, follows the story of Thor and Loki and Odin and in Asgard. And then down here on Earth, we get to follow the characters played by Stellan Skarsgård, Kat Dennings, of course, Agent Coulson, who we've seen in both Iron Man movies, and Natalie Portman's character. I think her name was Kate, if I'm not mistaken. And
Jane.
Jane.
He wasn't worried about her name.
Jane, Darcy, and I can't remember Stella's.
Eric.
Yeah. Okay. And they are researchers of some sort, and they're researching these, I guess, anomalies in the sky. And Natalie Portman's character believes that it is what I think they call it an Einstein-Rosenberg bridge, or
something like that.
Something like that. I've seen the movie twice. I can't remember these details. But and they're out in the desert, and they're looking in New Mexico, and down comes Thor. And this is how the movie opens up. And I love the opening of this movie, the fact that they start in the real world, and then we kind of, after their first little encounter with Thor, immediately backtracks, and you get this great narrative by Odin, played by Sir Anthony Hopkins, who is amazing in everything he does. And
except maybe the Wolfman.
he was still good in that. Everyone else stunk. But you get this narrative about these frost giants in the 9 realms, and how the Asgardians have protected the realms, and it kind of gives you the backstory of why in the early days that people kind of thought of them as gods, and you get the ascension of Thor and Loki as little boys to men, and Thor is supposed to ascend to the throne. And of course, there is on his day of ascension, there is a break-in by the frost giants who have been long gone, and Thor wants to know why, and he pretty much goes after them. It starts a huge war, and that's what gets him kicked out of Asgard. Now, I don't want to go real spoiler territory here, but that's the basic, and that's what sends him to Earth. And of course, Odin also casts the hammer down to Earth, and of course, if you've seen the end of Iron Man 2, you know where the hammer lands.
Right.
And you get to see that elaborated on, which is really cool. Also, I thought it was very cool to see Jeremy Renner in the little precursor for Hawkeye. I thought that was very, very, very interesting. I know a lot of that's been spoiled already because it was all over the internet.
Right.
But I thought that was a nice touch. And lots of little nods here and there to the Marvel Universe. References to Stark, of course, and Bruce Banner, and the Infinity Gauntlet, and all these different little things. Oh yeah, real quick, so I don't forget, if you go see this movie, and you should, America, for all the people who didn't see it, you need to go see it, stay after the entire credits roll. You definitely want to.
Yeah, it entertains me highly at this point to watch the people leave the theater. That, like,
oh yeah,
how do you not realize by now that it's time to stick around through the credits?
It's time to hang out.
Pirates of the Caribbean, after every single one. Marvel's movies, every single one.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get up and leave?
I know, it's ridiculous. But anyway, Chris Hemsworth, I think, who plays Thor, does a really good job. He definitely looks the part, and for you ladies, you're going to love the eye candy. I mean, this dude is ripped. And he's really good. I liked his portrayal of Thor. I can't remember the guy who plays Loki, but I really liked him. I thought he was really enjoyable.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes. I liked Clark Gregg in there. I liked the fact that Ray Winstone was in there. Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, Ray. I was going Ray Winstone. I missed him.
No, Ray Stevenson, who of course played the Punisher in the remake. But the story follows along, and Thor has this journey. He has to, I guess, find himself and not be the kind of spoiled brat, and so he can regain his power. And, of course, Loki, as we all know, is the god of mischief, and he's kind of up to no good. And it comes down... I thought the effects were great. I thought the battle sequences were really nice. It wasn't too much of what we call the shaky cam. There were some really good shots. And I thought the story itself, it has heart. It was really funny. One of my biggest criticisms of reading the comics growing up was the way Thor talked. And they make fun of it so well in the real world when he's down on Earth, and I loved it. Like when he goes into the pet store, I need a horse! And the pet guy is just looking at him like, we don't have horses. We've got kittens and goldfish and dogs. Well, give me one big enough to ride. One of my favorite parts of the movie. But I highly recommend it. I think it's a great movie, and I'll try to wrap it up. But definitely go see Thor. I give it 5 stars. I think it's one of the best things Marvel's came out with.
Well, and?
5 stars, and it's video podcast, so more!